What do you know good today? Can't tell a fat man nothing. You know, I was going to not do this video. I was just gonna cook Sunday. Then I decided give the people what they want. A video of me cooking. That's what I'm gonna do. Today on You Can't Tell a Fat Man Nothing, I'm gonna do a crawfish etouffee my way. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's how I'm gonna do it. Come along, let me show you how to do it. All right, start off with a stick of butter in your pot. Get it nice and melted. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up the Holy Trinity, onions, celery, some bell peppers. I'm gonna throw in some garlic, and we'll put it in the pot in the butter. So, let me get this chopping. All right, I got my onions, celery, bell peppers in here. I'm getting that nice and translucent. I'm gonna stir that around, that nice and butter. Get that nice and translucent. Next up, we'll be adding our garlic. All right, now I'm gonna do is I'm adding my garlic. I'm gonna get one of these big spoons. Put a good amount of garlic in there for me. Do one, about a half with some juice in there. Get that in there and just incorporate it with the butter and all the translucent onions and bell peppers. Next thing we'll put in there is some flour. We're gonna make like a little small roux, like a little paste, basically. So get that nice and incorporated. All right, before I'm gonna add my flour, I'm gonna add my seasonings. You can add any kind of seasonings you want. I'm gonna use mostly Cajun seasonings, some salt and black pepper. And you just add enough till your ancestors tell you, man, that's enough right there, yeah. But I'm gonna use some Mrs. Pat in the pot. Sprinkle just a light coating on top. I don't put a lot of seasoning everything, but just enough, like a dusting over the top. Use some Tonys. I love me some Tonys. A lot of people don't like Tonys because of all the salt intake, but I like the little heat of that. Use some black pepper. And I like some McCormick seasonal in mine as well. And again, just a covering of just the top part of it. Probably maybe a tablespoon of each. I don't know, just till you like you have enough. Stir this around and we'll be right back. All right, got it all nice and incorporated. The seasonings are all in there. It's nice and pretty. It's getting a nice pretty little color. Look at that. Look at all those colors in there. It smells wonderful as usual. I'm going to use the same size spoon that I did for the garlic to put some flour in here to make like a kind of a roux. And I'm just going to do like a kind of a heaping spoon and just sprinkle on top of all that goodness at the bottom of the Holy Trinity. Do just a little bit more. And then I'm going to stir that around and create a roux, a little small paste to thicken up my sauce once I put everything together. So get that in there. As you can see, it's pasting up. It's getting a little thick. Make a little brownness to at the bottom of it. Get a little color to that, and I'll be right back. All right, I got my roux started, and look at that. Nice little light brown. I don't want a dark color. I have incorporated everything. Got my fire on medium currently. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a rotel, can of rotel in here, juice and all, everything. I'm gonna get that nice and tossed in there, get a little juice in there going. And I'm going to add just a very little water in here. Just about like that. Just a little bit to get things nice and incorporated together. Let me show you my next step. Hold on. Remember I told you everybody cooks their crawfish etouffee different? This is how I'm cooking mine. I save the crawfish claws from our crawfish ball back here, and I put them in the freezer. I have a quart-sized bag of it. I'm gonna pour all these into this mixture right here. You can like, but Curtis, they have freezer burnt. No, that's not freezer burnt. That's just ice crystals. The ice crystals are gonna kind of fall into that sauce and make the gravy even better because you have all those juices from those claws from the crawfish boil, or ball, as I like to say, but I like to say boil from the crawfish boil. And it's gonna be all incorporated in there. But look how pretty that is and how yummy it's going to be. Because once you get all my sauce done, all those juices are gonna get into those claws, and the juice that's in the claw is currently gonna come out. It's gonna squeeze out into this pan. It's gonna be so good. Let me get this all nice and yummy. All right, my crawfish claws, my holy trinity, my butter, my flour, my roux is all in here with the seasonings. I'm going to put a lid on this for about 15 minutes. Let that all marinate together. It's on a medium heat. Again, this is how I'm doing mine. I'm gonna add some more sauce to this, or some more liquids to this, and get my gravy nice and pretty. So let this sit for 15 minutes. I meant to tell you also to stir within that 15 minutes so the stuff don't stick to the bottom. So make sure you take your lid off and you stir every 3-4 minutes on here, and just watch and make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom, okay? Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. As you can see, all that ice crystals has got into those sauce and made a little thick sauce in there, nice and fruity. Taste test a little bit, see if you need more seasoning in there. Not right now, it's perfect. I'm going to add 1 can, yes, 1 can of Campbell's cream of mushroom. So don't come for me, I know. Some people don't use it, but I like to use it. This is my recipe that I use. I'm gonna get every bit of that good can of mushroom out. And I only use Campbell's. That's my favorite kind. And I'm also going to use 1 can of cream of celery inside here. Put this inside here, get it all nice and mixed together. And I'll be right back. All right, I got both of my cans in there, the cream of mushroom and the cream of celery. The next thing I'm going to add, because you can see it's really thick. Next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add some heavy whipping cream. That's right, I said heavy whipping cream. To give us that nice richness to it, and you can add it to your desired consistency of how thick or how not thick you want it. I'm gonna put about half of that can in there right now, and I'm also gonna throw in half a stick of butter. You're gonna say, but Curtis, you started off with a stick of butter. Do you really need that extra butter? And I say to you, yes, Curtis does. All right, I'm gonna get this mixed up, and I'll be right back once that butter's melted to show you what it looks like. All right, that butter's melted and that cream has just made the prettiest gravy. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Can you see? Not really. Anyway, it's nice and beautiful. It smells wonderful. Spot on. I'm gonna add some garlic powder and some onion powder. I did not add that initially, but I do want to add that into this at this point in the game. You can add it prior to, before. It doesn't matter when you add it in. This is just when I add it in. All right, got my onion powder and garlic powder stirred in there. Ooh, wrong spoon. In there. And I'm gonna stir this around. Get this all incorporated. It's on a medium to low heat while this is heating up. I'm gonna get my crawfish tails ready, and I'll be right back. All right, I've let this simmer for probably about 20 minutes. The steam has left off into some of the gravy, so it's kind of make a little not as thick as it was earlier, which is how I like. I'm gonna add a little bit of crab ball. Not much. This stuff is potent. I'm also going to add in a bunch of green onions at this point in time. I used 6 stalks of green onions. I like a lot of green onions. If you don't like it, don't put it. And then also I'm going to do a half a lemon. I'm going to squeeze the juice of a half a lemon inside here. Mix all this up, let it sit. And yes, I know I have not added my crawfish tails in yet. That's the last thing you're going to add is your crawfish tails, because they won't take long and you don't want them to shrivel up and shrink. Look who shows up when it's almost done. All right, if you're gonna make this crawfish etouffee, you want to use Louisiana certified crawfish. You don't want no Chinese crawfish. People say, oh, you can't tell a difference. Yes, you can. Louisiana certified crawfish tails. They will have a little Louisiana certification Cajun on there, so make sure you use that. I'm using 2 pounds of crawfish tails into my pot. I've let this sit for about 30 minutes simmering. I'm gonna add the juice and everything inside this pot. Oh, she had to step back because I was throwing the juice around.
Yeah, my white shorts.
All right, I'm gonna get this in here and I'll come right back. All right, I'm gonna show you a little trick. You got your crawfish tails into the pot. You want all that juice and those flavors and that fat inside this thing, inside this pot. So just take it, fold it, and see all that dripping out? You want that in there, right? Right. Take this in here. Go ahead and just get all that nice and incorporated. Stir it around. You want to cook this no more than 15 minutes because it's not going to take long for this crawfish because they're already hard-boiled in there. So it takes 10-15 minutes to cook. You don't want them to shrivel up like I told you earlier. You don't want them shriveled up. And the last thing you'll add is fresh parsley. I don't have fresh parsley. My garden's dried up. But add fresh parsley at the end, and I'll show you how to plate this up once we're all done. But look at this so far. Can't tell Fat Man Nuthin is good. It's gonna be good. Be right back. All right, it's done. Look at this.
Yummy.
We're gonna taste test it. Mackenzie taste it and see what she says. Now, honest to God, truth. Don't lie, no. Don't lie on me, no. Now you're on camera.
I never lie. Here's what I'm trying. Got some crawfish in it.
You gotta do it like the influencers do, like that.
I know, I did.
Oh, okay.
Beyond my scale.
Beyond your, what is that beyond my scale?
Like there's no rating to it 'cause it's just so good.
Because it's so BAM good. Good, delicious. We're gonna plate it up. Just get a second. Give me a second. Hold on. All right, now we're ready to plate this up. You ready, Mackenzie?
I'm ready.
Mackenzie likes to eat hers like soup, so she'll just put all this etouffee in a bowl and eat it like that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my plate like that. I'm gonna put my crawfish a little bit on the bottom like that. Look at that. Look
Get
how
all covered.
we will make it presentable. Look how pretty that is. Remember a couple of weeks ago I made that ring of bread? I made it again tonight. I'm gonna take 2 slices of bread, set it like that, and then I'm gonna get my rice scooper out, and give me 2 piles of rice right on top.
Usually you have pistolets, but we do not have.
Don't need pistolets. It's just a type of bread you fry and you put it in there. Look at that. And then I'm gonna get some green onions and top it like that. And then I'm gonna get some more etouffee. Top it on top of that rice. Can't tell a Fat Man nothing. Now it's time to taste it. You want some rice or no rice, Mackenzie?
No rice.
All right, you get your fork. Mmm. Buttery, creamy, seasoned just perfect. Oh my gosh, so good. Get the camera, taste that.
I'll have a little rice.
Ooh. Definitely try this. This is so good. Look, I'm
Yummy,
sweating. It's
yummy.
so good. So good. Try this on your next meal. Love you. Bye.